Hi guys， 又是一年苹果春晚，又是一年我跟 Norm 在参加完今年的 WWDC24 之后，我们两个想聊一下今年 visionOS 的一些 updates. So say hi to Chinese VR fans.
Hi there in China.
Yeah. So Norm, are you excited about this year's WWDC?
Definitely interesting. I think less exciting overall than last year. So very happy for Chinese audiences who are going to be getting
Vision
the
Pro
chance
finally, yes.
officially, right, and not having to find ways to get them.
Yep.
So it's only been 4 months, but I was very curious to see what they would announce for visionOS 2. Since they already, since launching February, they've made plenty of other improvements like spatial personas, which are my favorite features.
Same here.
And after that, the things like mirroring, improving in Mac mirroring. Really looking forward to that.
Yes, the immersive, big screen. That helps a lot.
Yeah, so when Vision Pro launched, you could connect it to your MacBook, your Mac, Mac Studio, something without a display, and it was interesting to see you can have up to a 5K display. It says it has foveated rendering. So everyone wanted more than one display. In fact, there were even rumors that when they were testing it, developers or internally at Apple, people had 2 displays working. But they're sticking with 1 display, but the fact that you can do a panorama view gives you effectively as much screen space.
And high efficiency.
Yes, absolutely. They did say that there would be foveated rendering with that too happening locally on the MacBook, which I thought was interesting.
Yes, also the memory part got enhanced.
You can now turn normal photos.
The 2D photos into 3Ds.
Yes.
A lot of people, like they said, if we have Vision Pro earlier, I can maybe take photos for my pet, for my grandfather, mother.
It's very powerful. It's something that also we saw third parties already doing. There are third-party applications right now that let you turn a flat photo and even a standard video and give it depth data using machine learning. I thought it would have come sooner because with your iPhone you can shoot portrait mode photos which have depth data. You can shoot cinema photos which have depth data, and so this feels like a natural extension. The announcement though is only for photos. That photos you'll get to turn them into 3-dimensional spatial photos, and that's something that's I hope will also improve over time. So if I upgrade a photo now, I can maybe upgrade it in a year or 2 and it'll even look even better.
Yes.
Because these are just algorithms that improve. Something that's been really hard to do is share the Vision Pro with people. Most households can only afford 1, or you're going to a friend who might be trying it out. And so the guest mode has been something that's been, it's possible, but it's laborious.
Yeah.
There's a lot of friction to doing that. And so they announced that there'll be an easier, not profiles, which is something I would want to see, the way to save a profile for my family, but at least we'll retain the eye tracking and hand tracking calibration for the most recent guest user.
Yes, that saves a lot of time, and especially if you have a lot of people waiting to try your Vision Pro, everybody using like 2-3 minutes to set up everything cost really tiring.
I know it's not a ton of features. It's almost the most surprising thing was what they did not announce for Vision Pro given the rest of the keynote. Apple Intelligence, the updated Siri, these are things that feel like they would be very powerful
for
Vision Pro. Even iPhone mirroring that's coming to the new version of macOS. You can see your iPhone. The pass-through is great enough to see it, but like unlocking isn't work. The handoff feature for unlocking doesn't work. And sometimes there are forms of application that I want to use my thumb to scroll versus using a tap to pinch. There's also AirPlay receiver. So AirPlay is the ability to cast from an iPad or an iPhone to your, an Apple TV here, but you can set the Vision Pro as a receiver. So theoretically, you can maybe cast a YouTube video or cast, a Netflix onto the Vision Pro as opposed to going through Safari.
Yeah, but do you think the cast is necessary? I mean, if you want to see the video.
You can also open a web browser and do that as well. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I think they're still figuring some of this stuff out. What developers have access to also very exciting.
Yeah, they got 3 APIs coming out.
Yep. Yeah. I've already noticed on social media people point out the enterprise APIs get access to the camera. which no other platforms allow to access the camera.
That
so
enhance the virtual world a lot, so we can share the same environments. The demo shows we talked about earlier. Like if we are seeing an actual physical model together, and we two sharing the same virtual view is also very important.
Yes, yep. That through SharePlay. Table kit.
Yes.
Also
with the
for board games, but right now applications in visionOS, they can be volumes if they want to be mixed reality, or they can be fully immersive and fill up your entire field of view. But in fully immersive mode, there's no room scale. It's a 1.5 meter by 1.5 meter space, and it's actually only in immersive in visionOS 1 where it can tap into surfaces, your walls, or recognize a table surface or a window. And so I think they're finally bringing some of that to the volume style of application, where previously if there's a game, like a game of chess, it doesn't recognize what is a table. You have to place that volume on top of your table surface.
Exactly.
Going forward, it may recognize that is a table. It will lock it to the table, and then the SharePlay will also work seamlessly with that.
They have this API for ARKit actually a few versions ago, and I'm happy that they finally opened up one of them, the plane, to the Vision Pro. But maybe later they can have a more surfacing that we can locate it to.
And that's a good pattern, because it feels like visionOS is not just getting everything from ARKit, everything from the newest versions of iOS or iPadOS. It's a slow rollout to do it specifically for visionOS, including object tracking at high frame rate. Like ARKit, you can have tracked objects at 30 frames per second. The connect button on top of your Mac screen tracks at 1 frame a second. So, things are moving a little bit slow. Yeah, more measured approach.
Let's talk about content.
Sure,
they mentioned there are some immersive videos and immersive little films coming out this year.
Yeah, and so there's a subtle difference between what Apple calls spatial video and immersive video. Right, spatial video is stereo, which you can film with your phone or a lot of cameras out in the market today. Immersive video is full VR 180.
Yes.
Right, and there are a lot of good VR 180 cameras out there right now. You can capture it with the headset itself, but to do the high quality 8K VR 180 immersive video has previously required custom built camera rigs that Apple has developed internally to capture highest bit rate, go through their workflow, and it's very, that's why this rollout, even in the States here, very slow for immersive video content. 2 episodes only of their adventure series, because it's not easy to shoot and edit and produce that. And so it sounds like they want to open that up, and knowing how they do immersive media, even on, for example, the Oculus side, it's not as easy a process, right? It requires special training, requires a lot of compute. To do it wrong, you get a lot of motion sickness. It's not just the Wild West of filming video. So they announced, I think, a Blackmagic partnership. So a camera rig that can film immersive video and edit in DaVinci and go through Apple's backend for stitching and processing, as well as a new lens for the Canon R7 camera.
Yes, and I see the picture of the Canon's camera. IPD is really...
It is. So that one is an iteration on R5, has a similar lens already. Very high quality. It's using the big sensor on the R5, and I assume this is similar to that. And the IPD it's close. I don't know if I don't think exact numbers, but it works really well compared to Cam. You will have to do slight alignment. Everything has to be calibrated for camera, for lens. Everything needs to be level. And so for people wondering where immersive media, why it takes so long to do immersive media, or when immersive media can be live streamed, even because we want sports to be live streamed in immersive video. I think it's a long ways off.
Well, talking about sports, I think they launched the Vision Pro earlier in other countries than the Olympics. Maybe we can expect something like Olympic live streaming immersive videos.
I suspect maybe not live streaming, but they'll probably have camera teams filming. It's like they have a partnership with MLS, Major League Soccer, football. They also did some filming with basketball, the NBA, but none of that was live. The pipeline to process live video, personally, I think is a ways off. Not impossible, but it's to do it the quality that Apple wants.
At least we can expect that during this year's Olympics, we
will
can
film it.
Yeah,
yes.
filming.
Very exciting. Sports
and maybe we can watching the Olympics through the spatial environment as well as the personas.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I feel like everyone, even with Meta Connect's conference, the hope was to watch it shared across the world, and people have done it in previously in AltSpace VR and VR chat, but not Meta hasn't done it and Apple hasn't done it to allow users to watch their keynotes together, aside from watching a streaming YouTube video or
exactly.
something.
Actually, if we are not in Apple Park today, it would be also great if you can use your Vision Pro to watch the live show of WWDC.
With a special enhanced version.
Exactly.
With colors and graphics, and yeah, that's the dream.
Do you want to talk about future? What's next for Vision Pro OS?
I think that now that people have used it and people have sent in their requests, it takes time. It'll probably be next year before we see a lot of those quality of life improvements. I think that when they announce, they're figuring out what the best use case is, kind of like the Apple Watch. When Apple Watch first came out, did everything. You can have apps on it. You can play music, and they found out fitness was what people really wanted to use Apple Watch for. I think same with visionOS. They're finding out what are people spending time in it for, whether it's for productivity, whether it's for communication, whether it's for media, and then devoting the resources to make those the best as possible.
Yes.
So for me personally, it's media and productivity. I want to see improvements there, so I'm excited to see what next.
Thank you so much, Norm, for the interview again after WWDC.
No problem. Great to see you again, Myra.
Yes, and you do have a lot of Chinese fans, so thank you so much for talking to everyone.
Thank you so much for watching.
So that's all for today's talk.